think I like that map. I think I'm good to stay on that map. So, hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to our Dominions 5 single-player Vampiria. We died. We were defeated utterly and horribly. So we're gonna play again. I like that map, so we're gonna try some more of that map. That was pretty cool. Let's see where we go. We're gonna do Vampiria. Yeah, delete the old game, and I think we were on Mighty AI last time, so I think we'll do less Mighty. We'll probably do a couple Mighty, though, so let's go ahead and add in everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I did not do that. 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, I did. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we are going to take Vampiria. Put in everyone else. I wish there was like a quicker way to multi-select things than there is, but you know, sometimes it do be that way. Gavin Blight, Karazakarak. Middenheim, Lanesh, Horn, Black Crag, Bone Nose, and Nagarond. Okay, there are 20 different races. Let's put 5 of them up to Mighty. That way we have some who are a little bit better than the others. Who do we want as our 5 Mighty AI? I think I love Skaven Blight, so let's bump up Skaven. They can be Mighty. Who else do we want to be Mighty? I think Altdorf has to be Mighty, right? Like the you know, actual Empire. Let's have them be Mighty. You like seeing? See, hey, beat you to the punch, right? Empire, hell yeah. I think there's only one Lizardman, so like Lizardmen being Mighty sounds fun. Some dwarfs being Mighty, or do we want like Corn? Corn could be cool being Mighty. Maybe not Lizardmen. Let's do. We have 2. Well, we have Skaven Blight is kind of a quintessential bad guy. Altdorf, quintessential good guy. We'll do Corn, quintessential bad guy. Let's have another quintessential good guy, like Ulthuan or Bretonia or something like that. Right? Yeah. Let's do the elves. And I feel like if we do the elves, we should do the Dawi. Let's do Karazakarak. Okay. So we've got elves, dwarves, rats, humans, and Blood for the Blood God as our kind of like big 5. But who knows? I mean, they might be Mighty AI, but that doesn't mean that they won't get picked apart by the difficult AI. And hopefully we will not get just wrecked. Anyways, what are we going to do? So I think we need to figure out, we tried Necrarch last time. And I do think the Necrarch bloodline is really cool, but I also think it's kind of slow, right? I think the Cairn Wraiths mix really well with the Graveguard, but it can be a little bit difficult. You don't have, like, that kill switch, right? And you don't have, like, really good heroes that you can use to thug or do anything like that with. So, really neat, but very reliant on... I mean, if we went Harvesters, actually, that might be a different matter if we went a Bless. But they don't have very good Bless or Priests, right? So I'm kind of curious about trying maybe either Strigoi or the Blood Dragons, right? So Blood Dragon has a heavy cav scenario, I think. What do we have? They have Blood Drakes, which are just solid heavy cav, right? This is what it is. They have the Imperial Knight Aspirants, which promote into a young Blood Knight. And they have Bretonnian Knight Aspirants, which turn into a young Blood Knight. And then the actual Blood Knights are these guys. Right? So, oh, they're not sacred. Huh. So I guess we wouldn't have to go sacred for them. They have Pilgrims of the Blood Grail. They are sacred. This is a weird sacred. What do we have here? In Bretonnia, questing knights have vowed to seek out the Grail. These pilgrims often join the knight in battle. The Pilgrims of the Blood Grail trace their origins back to this practice. They are descended from those pilgrims who had the terrible truth of the Grail lie revealed to them as their questing knight was dueled, defeated, and given the blood kiss by a powerful blood dragon vampire. Their former faith exposed as a wood elf manipulation, some pilgrims chose to serve a new master no more human than the elves, but far more honest, and offering the promise of revenge against their former society. Pilgrims of the Blood Grail have become just as zealous in their loyalty and service to blood dragons as their Bretonnian counterparts are to their knights, and as such are sacred to those who worship the vampires. Many of them bear injuries from their years dutifully following the footsteps of a vampire seeking greater and greater challenges. Interesting. Interesting, but also kind of meh, right? Like, just not a good base chassis for a bless, honestly. But this is a great chassis for a bless. So like this is a chassis that you could like just recruit a blood dragon every other turn and go have it kill things. Like go take on vast swaths of PD basically. So that's neat. The blood drakes are not sacred though. What about the Strigoi? What do we have with the Strigoi? Strigoi, really cool, not sacred. They are corpse eaters, though. Winged Strigoi, also cool. Swamp ghouls, neat. Crypt ghouls, we've seen some of those. Those are neat. Spined crypt ghouls, they have the poison barbs effect. Crypt horrors are super cool. Very, very neat. Those were non-cap. Those are just base fort stuff. What can we get from... Oh, we get Vargeists. Okay. So we can get the Strigani Mystic, which is the cheap-ish astral one fortune teller. Okay, cool. We have the True Strigoi, which is sacred and looks to be pretty decent. Built-in regeneration, combat caster, armor of Strigos. Okay. Pretty powerful caster, generally speaking. We have the Strigani Warriors, which is a better chassis for a bless. I'm just kind of feeling like vampires just don't really care. Just thought to yourself that a regen bless, an undead regen bless, Hydra skin armor, ring of regeneration, and the vampire's natural regeneration, you could get 50% regen on your sacred vampires. Yeah. Like, I'm starting to see that I don't think you want a general sacred bless, right? Like, where you have a bunch of sacred troops, But I think you might want a Sacred Commander Bless, like specifically designed for the idea of this particular, like, Strigoi or freaking Blood Knights or what have you, right? That type of thing. Vargheists are pretty cool, though. Vargheists are pretty cool. What's Karstein get? They get Knights of the Rose. Okay, now here is a Sacred Cav option that doesn't look to be too bad. Base stats are pretty okay. Multiple... I mean, this is very generic heavy cav, honestly. It could be okay. Does not have... Cannot bless. Can bless. Oof. That's a little rough. That you're only... Surely there are others. Priest of the Oath. High Priest of the Oath. So you have H2s. Eesh. What's the Lamian? What do they get? Tortured Spirits. A bunch of human troops. They get Tomb Banshees. They get Tomb Banshees as... No, they get Tomb Banshees everywhere. That's interesting. That's interesting. What do they get in there? They get Cairn Wraiths and Hex Wraiths. 80 gold. Humanist Warrior. Alt Heretic. Mace of Reason. Bane of Heresy. That's interesting. Lamian of the First Circle. Oof, oof, oof. Okay. I don't know what I want to do. I do think I want to try something aside from the Necrarchs. So I'm kind of leaning towards Strigoi or Blood Dragons. Blood Dragons just seem cool for the idea of just, you know, throwing out some Blood Dragons, you know? Maybe even going for something like Imperial Knights, because they have pretty decent protection. The Bretonnian Knights have a heavy lance. This is maybe a little better. 40 versus 25. They're a little more expensive, though. Not quite so powerful as their older comrades. So... Enter for combat training. You can... Oh. How much do they need? They need 65. How many turns is that? That is... If you get 5 combat training, that is... That's 13 turns? Not quite, because you get an extra every turn. So that is... like 10 or... No, it's like 11 turns. 11 turns just sitting in the cap, and you can promote. So that's interesting, but not super strong. Yeah, fuck it. Let's try the blood dragons. I still think that I want to go luck because we want to try to have as much chance of getting the unique heroes as possible because those are really cool. We're still not we're still not super into a bless. Going into something like Reforming Flesh could still be good, right? But We could maybe try to take like a dormant pretender this time instead of a imprisoned pretender. I feel like we're gonna need resources though. Yeah, 53 and 54. We need a lot of resources and our undead. We have relative resistance to cold. I don't know about that. I feel like this is kind of a trap, honestly. Like, we're not going to be able to put this on any massable sacred troop, right? We'll be able to put this on some of our big commanders, but many of our big commanders already have built-in regeneration. They don't have ways to bless themselves. So we'd always have to have someone running around to bless them, or we would have... Yeah, I probably don't need a big blessing to be effective. Yeah, I just don't really see the purpose in it. I kind of think... Again, almost kind of like we did last time, I kind of think we just go for imprisoned. We take reforming flesh just because I think that's interesting. Maybe we could do kind of like prepping for the future, right? If we took half dead, there are some, I say some, there are plenty of human or living troops and commanders that are actually sacred. So if we took half dead in the long run, we could actually potentially use that to keep them from having mass problems when our lands eventually all die off. I feel like that's as valuable. Maybe not as valuable as reforming flesh. Reforming flesh has tangible... Well, I don't know. We can do that, and then... Fucking withering weapons, I guess. Like, this honestly really doesn't matter. With the way that we're playing. Okay. Lippo... Common, all, boost everything up to the max. Why not? Fun. Okay, let's see how this goes. I think, like, the go-to plan, right, is just going to be to try to get as many little Blood Knight groups as we can, running around, rolling around. Not sure what... I think my concern is I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and I'm like, is it really going to be more effective to mass Blood Knights than just massing Graveguard? Like, I feel like Graveguard are too good for what they cost and what they accomplish. You know? Because I feel like Graveguard are just such a good tool for early expansion. And then they just transition very well into the mid-game. Bum, bum. Bum. All right. Ooh, where are we at now? Oh, so no, not far from where we were once upon a time. Interesting, interesting. Faraway Sea is kind of nice because that's going to let us jump around. Okay, we want blood dragons. We want a vampire bat. We want just as many long dead as we can to kind of start this first party off. Might get ourselves Dom killed at the very beginning of the game, actually. Concerningly. But hopefully not. I won't get my guy killed like I did the first time. Okay, so I think a big difference is gonna be I think I'm misremembering. I think we still want to go up Conjuration. Okay. Relatively simple there. Blood dragons. Ruh-roh, Reggie. I feel like the game just froze for a second. Okay. Blood dragons. Really cool, really badass. Death, blood. Base regeneration. We have blood drakes, death blood. Okay, so. We can get 3 of them to start with. I don't think that's really worthwhile. Well, I am getting like some lag on the game here. Weird. Alright, we want cast spells. We want you in the back. We want disciplined up front. We want line formation. I do think this works fairly well. Wow. Yeah, I kind of just want to smash this place because that's a lot of income to start off with. Although, do I really care about... I mean, yes, I care about income. I think I might actually hit the Behemoth's Rest first. Because, yes, I care about income, but I also care about... resources. Let's see if someone's up here. Behemoth's Rest. The differences in combat speed are unfortunate sometimes. If this was like a super in-depth game, I would probably actually pick out the differing combat speeds so that we could group them together. Unexpected event. God damn it! Immediately got growth there. Earth gems. That's some bullshit, yo. Research going. I think we want a Blood Drake. And we want more Blood Knights. Gonna give us 3 Blood Knights, and I think 6 Blood Knights running around is kind of the thing. Okay, we got Talia to the north of us. That's interesting. Okay, battle. Golriep. That's a fair amount of heavies, actually. A dangerous amount of heavies. We might win this, but if we do, the only reason we win this is because we're undead. Yeah. Otherwise, we absolutely would have routed. Yeah, we lost a lot there. $26 versus Mundane. Should be pretty good. We just want to attack rearmost. Attack rearmost. 22, 28. That's a problem. That's weird. Hold a turn, I guess? I'm not sure that I know how I want to use these guys. Ooh, garnets. Wow. Oh no. I thought we were going to be okay, but the banishment is going to do us in. Ugh. There's a holy force right next to us, really. Alright, 6. Go to province. I still have 6. Alright. We didn't lose anything. Well, that's good, at least. I think, actually, we're just gonna line formation this. And... I'm trying to basically just create a death ball mass of these blood drakes, I think. We're gonna get some ferrying around options. Ooh, Britonia. Estalia to our north, Bretonia to the west. Ay, ay, ay. I'm being super loosey-goosey with this. I don't really know what else to do with the Blood Knights other than just Blood Knight. Go. Poof. That lance charge was pretty tight. Unexpected event, unrest, gold. One way to play Vamps to vary around a bit. How's it going, weird? How are you doing? Villains. I don't think the villains are gonna have a fun time against the Blood Knights. Oof. That's satisfying. That lance charge is something else. New famous hero. Rimbrecht. Got heroic precision. Yay, heroic precision, yay. Yay. Fucking A. Fucking heroic precision. You just hanging out? Cool, cool, cool. Always fun. 6. Charge. Here. Here. Guys on the... Yeah, these guys are on the center line. Hmm. All right. Oh, it's not. I thought it was 5 experience per turn. It is 5 experience per turn in total. That's less cool, unfortunately. A fat vampire would be pretty interesting, actually. I think we want... You figured it out? Nice. I think these guys actually might be a little OP. Like some stutter stepping on the game. Okay. If you played Dragon Age, oh, Brood Mothers. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Speak no more of this. I'm probably being way more conservative than I need to. I need to just pick up groups of 5 Blood Knights and go. Yeah, there's no reason for me to be rolling around with 12 Blood Knights. It's way too conservative. These things are freaking killers. 1 Blood Drake, 5 Blood Knights, done. Hey. Interesting. A knightly order. Hey, Nagaron's down here. Okay. We get another necromancer, actually. And then I'm gonna try to remember that. So anytime we have excess, I think we want to get Imperial Knights because they're the cheapest version, and we're not really interested in using them in battle. Otherwise, we would use the Bretonnian Knights because they would be a little bit better. I think they turn into the same thing though. They turn into Young Blood Knights. So we pick up those as extras whenever we can, and we set them to training, and eventually get ourselves some additional Young Blood Knights. This guy is going to get... Oh, he got attack skill. That's nice. Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. Alright, I'm back. It's already 10:18. Goodness. Time to riot? Ah! Okay. Yeah, I definitely think we should have just done a Blood Drake 5 and go. Although I don't think we're too far behind the curve, but probably like 2 provinces behind the curve of where we should be. Maybe 6 is better than 5. The safety 6. Nice. Oof. So good. Children are disappearing at night. Sucks to be them. Wow. Okay, they do have recuperation, so there is that. But them catching afflictions is kind of meh. Already have a pip, though. Okay. I actually think barbarians can pop us, so that is not something that we want to do. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just kind of like, it seems like a normal day to me, y'all. Four more of those. Yeah. I will say this. Um, absolutely have way harder of a time because the Blood Knights cost upkeep, whereas the Karen Wraiths and the Graveguard do not cost upkeep. So, um, actually, way harder to get my economy online comparatively with the Blood Dragons as it is otherwise. Though I think we're gonna have a stronger fighting force if we combine. You know, like having 30 or 40 Blood Dragons come together at one time is gonna be like kind of insanity. But actually, do you think we want some we want to slowly get some guys to go into faraway seas? I say slowly, but actually we probably want to go. Okay, what is up with this? I think I need to close Dominions real quick. Like it's CPU usage is really high. Like it just keeps freezing repeatedly. Which is weird because it's Dominions. Save and quit. Otis Babotis, you just sitting there watching the door. What's up, my man? What's up, my man? My boy. All right, what do we got? Mm. We lost 2 Blood Knights to that. 1 to an Onyx Sorceress, and 1 to a Priestess. That Banishment got 1 right there. I think Dust to Dust gets another. Yeah, Dust to Dust just got 1 right there. 1 damage. Fucking ow. That hurts. That hurts bad. There's priests in like all of these freaking things. Okay, 1 there. Gunter. Okay, we got a new famous hero first off. Iron Will. That's actually pretty nice. I've used that to great effect in the past. And we got Gunter, a blood dragon. Interesting. A charnel sword? My god. That sounds sketch. Ooh, large spiders. Those are cool. Altering my stuff real quick. Oh, hey, there's Nuln. Okay, so we have Nuln, Talia, Bretonia. Don't know that we figured out what was over here. Oh, we have Nagarond right down here. Okay. Where do I want to put a... There, one here. Go ahead and become prophet, actually. Because our Dominion is just fucking abysmal right now. Not that I think we necessarily... Well, we do care, because we have increased upkeep everywhere. I don't know how I feel like about this whole Red Dragon thing. It works, but I don't know that it's like what I actually want to do. Also, I think it works against the Indies, but I don't know that it's going to work against the actual AI. We just lost 2 Blood Dragons there. Fucking ow. Where do we lose them to? Was it on the charge? Oh, fucking dust to dust. Yep, lost one right there. Lost another one. Unfortunate. Otis Bobotis. Alright, we did okay there. Hey, we did it. Alright. Ooh, Black Crag is down here. Okay. Go over here. Try to play it a little safe. We're gonna piss off Talia. Okay, that's expected, I think. Point of fact, I think we might just like... Ooh. We hold. I think I want like one more set of them. I think this might be one of the last rounds that we do. Wolf Tribe. I don't think Wolf Tribe's going to be able to do anything against Blood Dragons. Have high enough damage. Zoglia. Easy peasy. And Halbathria. Oof. Sketchy when they fight for that long. Okay. Unexpected event. Ooh, harsh winter. Turn 11. Yeah, we're absolutely just sending these guys over this direction. We'll combine forces there. Let's do. Wow, that's a interesting jump there. I'm not sure I should be able to do that. I think it's because I can move here and then, like, sail up the river. Interesting. Alright, well, fuck it. Yeah, we're gonna combine forces over there. They're gonna combine! That is indeed what is gonna happen. I want like 40 or 50 long dead to go over this way. See how this goes. And then that'll probably be it. I gotta go to bed. Botus. Okay. Conjuration 3 complete. Battle in Runia. Nice. No losses. gained province resource and lost some population. Unfortunate. Oh, I forgot about that motherfucker. We're gonna march our way the fuck in here. Do one of these real quick, and we're gonna do a whole big batch of Long Dead, just to kind of like guarantee that we're taking this next turn, because this is too good for us to have been sitting here for this long. It's silly. Filling out the ranks, hell yeah. Move these guys over here just in case Nagaron decides to get frisky. Let's see how it goes. Did have some banishment happening, so we might have lost some. We lost none. You're right. You're right. Unexpected event. Misfortune 3. Quit it. Nightmares are kind of interesting. Wow. Wow. This place has like all of the sea connections or some shit in the world. Which is interesting, but also dangerous. I probably want to fort that in the long run. or they do something like that. And with that, what we do is we take this next turn and start marching northward to back up the Blood Knights, because the Blood Knights are going to do great in the field, but I mean, they do have 2 siege strength, but 46 siege strength is going to take a long time to siege down that wall integrity. So cool. Anyways, that is turn 13 actually. So we took this turn, and that would be 1 less. So on turn 12, we would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That 17 or was that 18? 5, 6, 12, 18. And I think we probably could have had another 2 if I had been doing the Blood Knight expansion correctly at the beginning. Just take like 5 and go. 5 so you don't get the squad penalty, the morale check penalty, and then just go. Because these guys do actually have morale. These guys are weird, honestly. Like, they're very powerful, but they've got like a lot of weird stuff going on for being undead vampires. Like, having the morale is interesting. Blood Knights feel like they should have regeneration, but they just don't. What they do have, the Blood Drakes have regeneration, and the Blood Dragons have regeneration. The Blood Knights do not have regeneration, no, but they have a Blood Sword that has partial life drain on it, so they kind of have regeneration, right? Like, I do agree with you. It does feel like the Blood Knights should have like 5% regeneration or something like that. But that might make them a little overpowered. Yeah, the Blood Sword has partial life drain on it, so they do have a little bit of a healing factor there, but yeah. I think my biggest thing is them having morale 15. I think they should be like morale 30s. It feels weird that they would break in combat as easy as... Oh, weird that it's not actually a magical sword? Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd choice. But I feel like, you know, Sombre is probably trying to pinch as much balance as he can wherever he can. And these things are already very strong for 90 gold, for basically for what you're paying for them. They're already very strong, so, you know, making them a magic weapon, do you then need to boost the cost? You know, giving them a 5% regen, do you then need to boost the cost more? Giving them 30 morale instead of 15 morale? Like, I definitely, like, I can see where X, Y, and Z makes more sense in my head, but then by the time doing all the things that makes more sense in my head, they do give you a lot of bang for the buck, right? I feel like if we added in all the things that made sense, then they would eventually get to the part to where they're just so expensive, but also so insanely good that it's like, what the fuck? At what point do you decide to just go for the upkeep free Black Knights? That's my other thing is like, the Blood Knights costing 96 gold a year is a big deal. So at this point in the Necrarch play, I had like an upkeep of 150 maybe, and I had close to the same amount of provinces just using Karen Wraiths and my god, what are they called? Graveguard, right? Because the Karen Wraiths and Graveguard are free, right? They have no upkeep, so it's kind of tough, right? I kind of feel like we could just go for the Black Knights. Obviously, we would have more attrition, but would it be that much more attrition? It's 2 protection and the life drain sword, basically, that you're looking at there. Versus 50 morale, no upkeep. Amphibious. Well, there's also Blood Knights also have the invulnerable 5, so it's actually 23 protection versus mundane, which is most things that you're fighting. But I don't know. Like, it's definitely an argument, which is interesting. I like that it's not clear cut, right? Like, it's not super cut and dry. Play this, do this, blah 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 blah. They aren't mindless, so they can gain experience stars. Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a pretty good point. Yeah, the actually, if we go over here to our Blood Knights, we have a couple that already have like 2 pips. So yeah, +2 attack bonus, +2 defense. What else do you get? You get morale. Don't you eventually get other stuff? I don't remember. But that's a very good point. Yeah. And I mean, there is the legacy of Aberration here, where you get the combat training, so that's fair. Even like later on, if you're not smashing your Blood Knights into things, you can be training them to be better and better and better. And when you get buffs on these things, it's gonna be even more insane. So, I think actually recuperation might be. I might be overlooking how powerful recuperation is on these as well. Because we've had a couple of afflictions on them, but they're actually all doing good now. +3. Blood dragons are such good leaders. Yeah. Honestly, think that the Imperial Knight Aspirants might be one of the better things in your arsenal. 25 gold cav is always worthwhile, and the survivors turn into mini vampires themselves. Yeah, these guys are pretty neat, honestly. I just think the attrition rate's going to be very, very high on them. Not as good in combat as any of the other cav, but they're a lot cheaper. Very true. I need to play, or I need to just do some test games where I'm just fucking around. But I need to just, like, buy a bunch of these, see how well they expand, and then see what the Young Blood Knight is, right? See how the Young Blood Knight stacks up to the actual Blood Knight. You know what would sell me on that scenario is if the Young Blood Knight was also a promotion unit and then eventually promoted into a Blood Knight at, like, I don't know, 100 experience or something like that. Like, that I think would absolutely sell me on the idea of going that route, right? Mechanically, though, I think you might be right. I think it might be a very good sell to go for the Imperial Knight Aspirants. Or even just the Bretonnian Knight Aspirants. Even, like, 40 gold, 18 protection, 15 defense versus 22 protection, 17 defense. These guys also have a heavy lance, right? So you can every single Blood Knight, you can have 2 of these, and you're gonna bowl over things, and eventually you're gonna get some Young Blood Knights as well. So, yeah. These guys kind of resource constrain you, though. Anyways, I'm yammering on. I had a lot of fun with this stream, but that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.